Okay, America, we're talking to you tonight about social justice, and I have to tell you that I'm really torn right now. It's why I had about an hour's sleep the other night, because I feel like nobody is exposing any of this stuff, but I also feel like that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be talking to you about just correct principles and getting back into the flow of God. And I don't care what God it is that you worship, what church you go to. We just need to get back into correct principles. Tonight, I'm going to join for the rest of the hour by Peter Lilback, president of Westminster Theological Seminary and author of a book I just found last week, George Washington's Sacred Fire. You didn't even know I was going to even talk about this, did you?
No.
Yesterday, it was like 475,000 on Amazon.com. I think it was 2 or 3 when I checked this morning.
I'm up to 2 now. Thanks to you, boy. I tell you, you're the best publicist in town.
This is America. This is a book that every house should have. Buy this book. It is an avalanche of information. It so discredits all of the scholars, and it's amazing. Best book on faith and the founding I think I've ever read. Then Jerry Falwell Jr. is here. He is the chancellor of Liberty University. Jerry, you a doctor of?
I'm an attorney.
You're an attorney, but are you a doctor of anything?
Juris Doctor.
Oh, I'm a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
We were honored to have you at Liberty University.
No, I know, sir, and it was
best commencement we've ever had.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, let's start at the beginning, and Peter, maybe you can help me just on. First of all, never happened. This is not in any founding document, social justice or any of that stuff, right?
The phrase social justice cannot be found in the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence.
Okay. It also is, it's not found in the Bible.
No.
Okay. Give me the origins of social justice.
Well, let's start in the context of Westminster Seminary. The man who started the school where I'm the president, J. Gresham Machen, wrote a book that revolutionized the 20th century. It was called Christianity and Liberalism. And basically what he said is that liberals claim to be Christians. They use all kinds of Christian vocabulary, but they give them different meanings. Mm-hmm. And that Christianity and liberalism are 2 different religions. And that is the core of what you're dealing with now, really a century after Dr. Machen started Westminster Seminary. The words are Christian, but they've been redefined. Justice is a biblical word, but social justice is taking away each individual getting his due. Instead, what they're saying is a whole class needs to get its due. And a class structure system is really a result of Marxist thought.
Okay, who is Reverend Harry Ward?
Reverend Harry Ward was one of the founders of the ACLU. Mm-hmm. He was a Methodist minister, allegedly, and for some 20 years he claimed to be a Methodist, and then finally it was exposed under oath that he was really a communist. And so it's really fascinating that people can wear the hoods of religion. That's where we get the word falsehood, putting on the robe of religion and the hood, and it's really a fake. Here was a man claiming to be a Methodist minister when really he was an overt communist in his thinking.
Okay,
and he is the founder of the ACLU, one of the founding fathers of the ACLU.
And the father of the social justice movement, or the social gospel movement.
Well, let's put it this way. Going back into the late 1800s, there were others that were wrestling with social problems.
Right.
And we can think of the name Washington Gladden, Walter Rauschenbusch. These were great theologians that were trying to address problems of orphanages, lack of education. Right. And there have always been social problems that need to be addressed, and they were calling the church to do it. But what had happened is that they began to lose focus in the truth of the Bible. They stopped believing, as you've called it, the individual character of salvation. Instead of one coming to the cross to find Jesus Christ as the crucified, buried, and risen Savior, the one who saves sinners, they started to turn to society. And they said salvation is when the society feeds you, when it gives you clothes, when it gives you a better hospital, when it keeps your house from burning. Now, all of those things are good, but that's not the gospel. Those are implications of the gospel. And what liberalism did is that it said we no longer can believe in Jesus as God or Jesus as crucified and risen and coming again. We can't believe that. So what we've done is we've kept all the language and we've changed its meaning. And that is social justice thinking. It's liberalism in the cloak of Christianity. That was Dr. Machen's fundamental insight.
Let me ask you this, America. Does it sound crazy? I mean, you've just seen, I just showed you a minute ago, the jobs bill was a jobs bill because they knew you wouldn't buy the stimulus bill anymore. This is all progressives do. Change the language over and over until they find something where it fits in and locks in with you. You, unfortunately, haven't had anybody expose all of this stuff in a mainstream way, and so it's just gotten out of control. America, I know we have an election primaries going on today, and everybody is thinking about how do we fix things politically, and that is all important. But I'm telling you, things are so far out of control. If we don't fix ourselves and get right with a higher power, we're in real trouble. Peter Lillback is the author of George Washington's Sacred Fire. You must buy this book. And Jerry Falwell Jr., Chancellor of Liberty University, is with me, and we're talking about social justice, because now we have the EPA, according to the faith-based initiative, they're going to merge the EPA with churches and then offer them money to help green their churches, etc. It's insidious.
Well, when I hear the Obama administration talking about eliminating the charitable deduction, it just makes me suspicious that the next step is to take the place of the church. Even when George Bush introduced his faith-based initiative, many of us were skeptical because even though his goal was to let religion and private associations help the poor because they could do it more efficiently than the government, there's still those strings that come with the government assistance, and so we shunned it. We have a home for alcoholics that we've operated for 60 years, a home for unwed mothers. We never took a penny. But this proposal goes beyond that, and it reminds me of what King George was doing in colonial Virginia. He required all the citizens of colonial Virginia to be members of the Anglican Church, to pay tithes to the church, and he appointed the Archbishop of the church. So he was helping God. He was doing something good, supposedly, but the real goal was power over the citizens of the state of Virginia. Thomas Jefferson, after the Revolution, seized all the properties that the church had bought up and sold them, but we didn't change the law until 2002. We filed a federal lawsuit because even until 2002, churches in Virginia could not incorporate because Thomas Jefferson wanted to make it impossible for the government to ever use the church as a tool of tyranny again.